The Haunting of Blackwood Manor. On the edge of a forgotten town stood Blackwood Manor, its silhouette looming against the darkening sky. The mansion had been abandoned for decades, its windows shattered, and ivy creeping over its crumbling walls. Yet even in its decay, it exuded a haunting beauty that drew the curious and the foolish alike. Locals whispered of strange noises, echoing from within footsteps, pacing the empty halls, faint whispers in the dead of night, and shadows moving behind shattered glass. No one dared to enter, not since the night the Beaumont family vanished without a trace. The story was well known. The Beaumonts were wealthy aristocrats who moved to Blackwood Manor in 1923. For a while, they hosted lavish parties, filling the grand halls with laughter and music. But that all changed one stormy night. Neighbors heard screams, a desperate wailing that was swallowed by the thunder. The next morning, the mansion was silent, the family nowhere to be found. Some said they fled, others claimed madness consumed them, but the truth was far darker. A group of thrill-seekers, curious about the legends, decided to spend a night in Blackwood Manor. Among them was Emma, a skeptic who mocked the ghost stories, eager to prove them wrong. The doors groaned as they pushed them open, the sound echoing through the hollow corridors. Dust hung in the air, undisturbed for decades. Their flashlights flickered, shadows dancing along the peeling wallpaper. The temperature dropped, a coldness that seeped into their bones. As they explored, they found portraits of the Beaumonts lining the walls, faces frozen in time. But the eyes, they seemed to follow them, watching with mournful gazes. Emma laughed it off, chalking it up to an old artist's trick. But then she noticed something unsettling. The faces were changing, mouths twisting into anguished screams, eyes wide with terror. The whispers began, faint at first, like a breeze through the trees, but soon they grew louder, voices overlapping, pleading, sobbing, accusing. "Why did you leave us? Help us! Release us!" The group tried to leave, but the doors slammed shut, the locks turning on their own. Panic set in as they scrambled for an exit, but every hallway seemed to twist and change, leading them deeper into the mansion's heart. They ended up in the ballroom. Its grandeur faded, but the chandelier still hung above, swaying gently. The room grew colder, and rage. Emma's breath fogged in the icy air as the temperature plummeted. Her friends huddled together, their eyes wide with terror, every exit now shrouded in darkness. The shadows moved closer, their outlines becoming more distinct, revealing figures dressed in vintage clothing, men in tailcoats, women in elegant gowns, their faces pale and hollow. A haunting waltz echoed through the room, played by invisible musicians, the mournful tune reverberating off the crumbling walls. The ghostly figures began to dance, their movements elegant yet wrong, limbs bending at unnatural angles, heads lolling as if their necks were broken. Their hollow eyes stared through the living, mouths moving in silent screams, forever trapped in this twisted waltz. Emma's heart raced as she backed away, bumping into a figure behind her. She spun around, and her scream caught in her throat. A woman stood there, her face gaunt, skin stretched tight over sharp cheekbones. Her lips were stained with blood, eyes sunken and black. She wore a tattered white gown, soaked at the hem with mud and something darker. The woman's head twitched unnaturally as she leaned closer, her mouth opening wide, too wide, jaw unhinging like a snake. A shriek burst forth, so piercing that the chandelier above trembled. dust raining down. The lights flickered, revealing more faces, countless souls staring with hollow eyes, their arms outstretched, reaching for the living. One by one, Emma's friends were pulled into the dance, their limbs moving against their will, bodies jerking in grotesque rhythm. Their eyes glazed over, mouths whispering the same plea over and over, "Help us, release us." But their voices were not their own, twisted by the spirits that possessed them. Emma stumbled back, her legs trembling, heart pounding like a drum. She felt cold fingers wrap around her wrist, icy and unyielding. She looked down to see a child's hand, small and pale, the face behind it warped with sorrow. "She won't let us go. She feeds on us. She'll feed on you too." The ghostly woman in white glided toward Emma, her twisted grin widening, eyes gleaming with hunger. "Stay with me. Dance with me. Forever." Her voice was hollow, echoing with the pain of the countless souls she'd claimed. Emma tried to scream, but no sound came out as the woman's icy breath brushed her face, smelling of decay and earth. Shadows wrapped around her, cold and suffocating, pulling her into the dance. Her body moved against her will, twirling and spinning, limbs bending, bones cracking. Her vision blurred as the room spun, faces flashing before her, screaming, pleading, lost. She saw the Beaumonts among them, their faces twisted in despair, mouths moving in silent prayers. They reached out, hands passing through her, their sorrow palpable. She realized then that they were prisoners, just like the others, bound to the mansion by the woman's curse. The waltz grew faster, more frenzied, as the spirits danced on broken legs, heads rolling unnaturally, smiles stretching too wide. The music echoed with laughter, cruel, mocking, inhuman. Emma's vision darkened, her body cold, her soul pulled into the shadows, trapped in the endless dance. The next morning, Blackwood Manor stood silent once more, the ballroom empty, dust settling over the cracked floor. But if you listen closely, just at the edge of hearing, the faint sound of a waltz echoes through the halls, accompanied by the ghostly laughter of a woman who waits eternally for her next dance partner. Thank you for watching Fear Files Real Nightmares. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.